Lawdog Sports here with you on a Saturday night for the college football wrap-up show as we are live on Facebook, Lawdog Sports. And Oklahoma going for a 2-point conversion and will not get it. So,
thanks, man. Thanks.
Looks like the final score was going to likely be 25-15, barring an onside kick. Jeremy, a little bit of awareness here. Apparently, Facebook is monitoring the content of this broadcast. So
are they really?
Why would they be on the warning track? I don't know, but something
this
going
must
on.
have been all the warnings I was getting every time I would share the live stream.
You're sharing our posts and they're flagging you. What?
Yeah.
What on earth? I'm just so tired. I'm so tired of Zuckerberg. I'm pretty tired of Musk, but I mean, at least Twitter X is just so tired. Oh no, hold on. I'm so tired.
Yeah, I don't even see us showing up yet.
Yeah, I've got us live on the Lawdog Sports page, so we'll try to keep up the live chat this way and do my best. But 25-19 or what? I can't see the score now.
25-15.
25-15. So 2 touchdowns on the night. Really, Michael Hawkins had it in. You can't tell me that the flip over was indisputable evidence that he didn't make it. Now
I think because his head came down first.
Tennessee's going to field it and take some knees and be done. So, Jeremy, rough day for the state of Oklahoma. OSU and Oklahoma both fall today. And honestly, I mean, we've been airing out grievances on social media during this game, but I mean, we knew this was coming. This isn't a big surprise.
Yeah, right? Sorry, Mark Rogers.
Well, I mean, chip away at that potato head all you want. But I mean, the thing about it is, man, I mean, we knew coming in that we weren't going to be able to block this defensive line. Everybody said it all week. Probably the only guys that weren't saying that were really trying to hold out a glimmer of hope were Tyler McComas and Parker Thune.
And damn everybody on that radio station for giving, those of us that are soft-headed enough, for giving us any hope at all. The only reason that Tennessee didn't score 50 was because Heupel decided he didn't want to.
Oh, he played us nicely. I mean,
and God
he didn't
bless
want to
him.
come in and embarrass Brent Venables, and Latrell was his former fullback, so he didn't want to embarrass him. But I mean, their defense did embarrass him. But I mean, offensively, they could have taken a lot more shots tonight.
Maybe when Josh is the head coach at OU in a couple of years after Brent.
Well, we'll get into that too, because I got some serious issues to do with the Oklahoma status amongst the Blue Bloods and amongst the top programs of the moment. I mean, we've seen it be cyclical before.
Hey, you know what? If you're still going to consider Michigan, Michigan won one last year.
Yeah, they did.
Before then, how many did they have? Was that their
97.
third national title?
I hadn't been keeping track, but they had gone a long time without winning one. 1997.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. They got a ton of wins. They're still a blue blood, even though they lost at home to Tennessee.
I just don't know. I mean, there's so much against them in the media as far as that blue blood status. And apparently
all you got to do is hire one possibly flamboyant coordinator to get the media's attention, and you're good to go.
What happened to the dude that used to be at Tech that had the hair? The surfer dude.
Yost,
Dave Yost.
I don't know.
What happened to that guy?
The hair raid. I don't know.
Hair raid.
I don't know, but it doesn't. It seems like Seth is trying to run way too much of stuff he doesn't know, which was the Levy offense, which was super widespread. Try to create so much space, but they don't have the dudes for that.
Yeah.
Instead of just running air raid, which you can run with pretty much anybody.
Yeah. Nico running for a first down. That will be the end of this one.
That's
50 seconds left. 25-15 is going to be your final. He resembles Jalen Hurts in his appearance and mannerisms so much.
Yeah. And
he's probably 40 pounds lighter, but I mean, he's.
Hey, You know what? 10 years ago, if we said, hey, they brought in this higher powered offense and we held them to 25 points, oh, hell, we won by
Yeah.
30, huh?
But anybody
Yeah,
that
but
watched
nope.
this game and knows the dynamics knows that they know that Heupel did not come into this. Once he saw that his defense was truly going to be able to dominate the offensive line and the run game in
Yeah.
particular, he knew. And they have no receivers to do anything with.
Is it time for that talk? Because I had that talk this week with a friend of mine my friend Sean King,
Yeah.
and he's pretty pragmatic when it comes to OU football, and I like to think I am as well. I'm not on a ledge about this. It's a loss at home to a really good team in our first year in the SEC. I get
Mm-hmm.
it, growing pains, whatever, but Bill Bedenbaugh
Mm-hmm.
recruited every one of those kids.
Yeah.
Bill Bedenbaugh has developed every one of those kids.
Yeah.
And the reason they cannot block a single person lays at nobody's feet but Bill Bedenbaugh.
Yeah. And when you say cannot block a single person, they can't get in the way of a dude. Dudes aren't even like mowing over linemen. They're just kind of stepping past them.
I tend to, and I have been a big Coach B fan in the past, but I think the best guys he's gotten in the last few years have been transfer
Colorado
guys
just
that were.
scored a last second touchdown and can tie up the game here. They may go for 2 at home.
So, anyways.
Wow. Hail Mary, basically. Colorado can tie it with a extra point. Looks like they will go for
They should go for one.
point.
They should go for one. Take it to
OT. You play for the tie at home, you go for the win on the road, right?
That's right. Yes. Unless you're Bob Stoops, then you're going to go to OT, and you guys are so well conditioned because of Jerry Schmidt, you're going to win, and because you have giant testicles.
How on earth do you let a guy slide in there and catch that with 2 defenders around you?
I don't know. I don't know.
Dude slips on the grass and then he just snatches it. Wow.
I think but I think it's time to have the hard discussions.
Well,
as far as maybe Coach B is, maybe it's time for a change. Maybe it is.
Yeah. Let's real quick. Some people checking in. Michael Busso says, good evening. Cleet Jones says it is what it is. And then he also says, Jeremy,
shut up, Cleet.
Your great chin is so nice. Marty Wandry is at the game, says, I got to say is wow. And then he said the great drone show at half. So, I saw some pictures of the drone show on Twitter X and looked like it was pretty cool. But, congratulations to Josh Heupel. You went into a situation where who'd he replace there?
Butch Jones.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
it was a Butch Jones. Yeah.
Yeah. And came in and had a great season, in his first year.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Alabama, a little bit of a drop off last year. And then he's got this 5-star quarterback that comes in and Knoxville's rocking. And you have to say, Jeremy, they are a definite playoff contender. They've got the tools, what looks like, to be an SEC contender.
They do. They definitely do. I'm not going to say because their defense was so great, because I think their defense was equally good to the degree that OU's offense was horrible. And remember, a couple of weeks ago, I was in that stadium and I made a comment about the offense, and people were upset about it.
Yeah. So Nico gives the final game ball to Heupel. So let's get into it now. The game is what it is, but there's a lot of background dressing to this game, Jeremy. And basically, and I said this on the Weekend Big Show on Thursday night, 2 coaches that were shown the door in Norman. One comes back to run the program. One takes over a program that it's interesting to me that Tennessee's never mentioned as a blue blood, because I always, this is my barometer. If your stadium holds 100,000 and you've won a national title in the last 40 years, I got no problem saying you're a blue blood. Tennessee's totally a blue blood.
Well, hang on a second. Let me pull up some pertinent stats to debunk your argument. Let's
So
see.
you're going out there saying that Tennessee is not a blue blood.
I am totally saying Tennessee's not a blue blood. I mean, they're
Okay.
a great program. Do not get me wrong. I am not taking away from Tennessee's program. Where are the national titles claimed? Because they've got SEC national. They claim 6 national titles.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of them's like the, you know, uh, Better Home and Gardens national title. Let's see, claimed national title. Why are these not showing up? Okay, here we go. Let's see. 1940, they claimed Dunkel. Okay. What 1967, they claimed the Litkenhouse National Championship. Oklahoma beat their ass in the Orange Bowl 26-24.
They won in 1998, right? T.
They
Martin.
won it. They won in 1998 with T. They could.
That was 2 years before the last time OU won one.
And it was after. It was the year after Peyton Manning had left.
Yeah,
They won
Peyton Manning left, and T. Martin. They beat.
And I'm not saying they are an excellent program. I've always respected Tennessee's program because they got the facilities. They were really good when I was in my formative years. When Philip Fulmer was down there,
sure,
because he was a hell of a coach. But yeah.
But see, I mean, here's the thing, Jeremy, and this is my rationale for why Bob Stoops should take a lot more heat than what he does. Fulmer stuck around that program, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't get the hire right?
Mm-hmm.
So Stoops, and I'm not ready to go out on Venables yet, but I don't know what is the issue. I mean, the Levy offense, for what it had downfalls in, looking back, I mean, it was it was the 2019 LSU Tigers compared to now. I mean,
true.
They wanted Jackson Arnold in so bad, and really, I mean, I'm afraid that what we saw as a small sampling in the bowl game is maybe who he is.
I mean.
And we know that it's who Seth Luttrell is if he had a line to give the guy time to chunk it downfield.
Yeah, I don't like the way the offense is constructed. I don't, like I've said many times, I don't understand the philosophy behind it. It doesn't look like there is any kind of structure to it when you watch it.
No
when
philosophy.
You really get down into it, it's like we want to do everything.
Oh, no. Of course. And Jeremy's frozen up again. Thanks, Pioneer, you piece of crap company. Freaking hate you. Michael Busso, overtime in Colorado. Cleet Jones, let's talk about how Josh looks like Porky Pig. Dang, Cleet. There's
okay, so yeah, hey, I can't even look at the damn stream on Facebook. It's not showing up for me.
Mine's kept up. I don't know. I've got a conversation. I've got a comment from Cleet.
What do you say?
He said,
I can't look
let's
at
talk
him.
about how Josh looks like Porky Pig.
Okay, no, he looks exactly like Bobby Hill, even more than
he's
our friend that looks like Bobby Hill. He is a dead ringer.
He is Bobby Hill. This is the College Football Wrap-Up Show. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Lawdog. He's Jeremy Schroeder, ruler of the airwaves. We come to you every Saturday night during the college football regular season to talk, wrap up with you. A lot of games today. I'll try to pull up scores as I can, because apparently if I pull up an extra browser window, it shuts my
it loses
internet down.
Oh, so anyways, hey, they don't have an identity, right? At least with Leach, hey, you know what? We might not even need a running back on the roster. We're going to chuck it all over the yard. Mm-hmm. Cool. I understand that. There's your identity. We're going to throw the ball.
Our friend Barry Trammell wrote an article about probably during the Landry Jones days, I think, or something. Maybe the Nate Hibble days when we couldn't run the ball. And he said, when you're going to run the ball and get a half a yard to a yard, then that's really a lower percentage play than passing the ball. And I think we're at that point, but apparently with the starter we had tonight, a bubble screen is just a little bit out of his realm, because it ended up with a turnover.
And well, the only problem with that, it wasn't even a bubble screen. It was a
Just a
shotgun snap, drop back, and then
I'm
going to look over here because that looks like where the play was designed to go.
Yeah.
And I got to throw it because I'm already under duress because my line can't block anybody.
Yeah.
A
But
bubble screen should look like when a second or a shortstop fields a ground ball and turns the double play. You catch a snap and it's just a quick hip turn and go.
Yeah.
That's how it should look. Not like whatever that abomination was.
Dean Lindsay checking in. He says the offensive line play is so discombobulated that words fail me. If most good programs are blue bloods, what is a blue blood? Maybe hiring former players in a coordinator positions, maybe not the best way to go.
Exactly.
You Norman guys really stick together, don't you?
And Dean, and if you don't come up to me next time I see you at the gym and talk about OU football, because I would love that. We are in the I'm hiring my buddies phase of OU football. Remember when Bob went through it? He bring in John Hayes.
Okay, so is DeMarco Murray a good hire?
DeMarco Murray is a great recruiter.
Is Joe John Finley a good hire?
Joe John Finley is, by all accounts, a good recruiter.
So as far as game day planning and unit work, you hear what I'm saying, right? Much there.
You hear what I'm saying, right?
I hear you.
By all accounts, those gentlemen are great recruiters. Now, if I'm a running backs coach, and anytime my quarterback gets a snap and turns and hands it to me, and there's already 4 guys in the backfield, I can't. I mean, how can you quantify my value?
Yeah. Hey, our studio line is open. I'm going to try to open an internet browser again so we can talk to someone if we'd like. But give us a call if you'd like to, 580-952-9145. That's 580-952-9145. It's likely to cause our internet connection to crash, but we'll give it a run.
Remember, you're dialing into the Shady 580.
Steve Anderson says, rough sports day, hard day for his pokes today. And Mike Gundy, wow. Cleet Jones says he love you guys. And then he also says, hey, Jeremy, at least Tennessee will be happy coming through tomorrow. You expecting a lot of dreamsicle orange
oh, my God.
at the Willie tomorrow?
Yeah, we're going to be expecting probably a couple thousand of them.
Yeah, there'll be a lot.
Can't wait for that.
Well, and, it looked like Smokey was being pretty cool amongst the mascots. And Tennessee, I can't imagine, is a fan base that you're going to dread coming to Norman from time.
You know what? I was at the Target today and ran into some Tennessee fans, and they were lovely people. I had my OU shirt on.
Yeah.
And they were very respectful. They asked questions about town. They were like, hey, we're really looking forward to the game tonight. Everything's really cool here. Like, yeah, it's great. They were all wonderful.
Yeah.
And, it's a great fan base to come into Norman. At least they're not the other orange wearers from Stilly.
Yeah. I thought Bama, when they came in 2002, was a good fan base.
Yeah. No one's as good as Nebraska was. I mean, they were top shelf.
No, you're talking.
But Alabama was great. And then I've heard stories about when our folks have gone to Tuscaloosa, how much fun they had there and how good the fans were.
Probably the main nightmare is going to be Baton Rouge.
Yeah, it's like 99%.
And I don't know,
really good, but then you go to Baton Rouge, and you got to deal with those drunken Cajuns.
Yeah. Well, and
you might end up with an alligator in your rental car.
Exactly. So, when I look at that game tonight, I mean, it's whatever goes on in a game like that, you have to do 2 things. And I'd say this based on basically the Kentucky game from last week. You have to limit mistakes. You have to get what you can when it's available. I mean, why aren't we moving quarterbacks who have mobility out of the pocket more?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can't leave either one of those. You can't leave them in the pocket.
And both of them are extremely mobile. And that is what is so – it's like, okay, well, you got to well, we got to take Jackson out of the game to put a guy in. Is that a liney? Is that a summer shandy?
I picked up probably some.
Those are delicious. Wow.
So went to Clinton Liquor today. Marty Wandry was not there. His son was there working.
Oh.
Marty was on his way to Norman, I guess. But it was probably one of the last Sixers of Liney. And then
Summer shandies, huh?
I got on my Liney T-shirt, and I'm in the Homeland in Clinton, and the lady comes up. She goes, "Oh, I'm from there." I was like, "Oh, what the hell are you doing in Clinton?" So,
wow.
anyways, but no, it's just madness. And I'm with you on the Bill Bedenbow. Here's the thing.
And I love Coach B. Great guy. He's done a really good job here. But after a while, maybe it's just time.
Steve Anderson says Justin Goodnow. Is that a name we should reference or something?
Justin Goodnow.
Talk to me, Steve. Ricky
Talk
Rodriguez. Is this a Ricky Rodriguez a name here on that I don't particularly recognize? But welcome to the show. Anyone not concerned that we can't get under center to run the ball or run a sneak? LOL.
Extremely.
It was concerning in the first half of the Temple game.
Ricky, we couldn't run the ball if we lined up in ninja.
Oh.
And everybody on the defense went both ways. They just cannot run the football. And it's because we can't get any push from our guards, and our center was pushed back into our quarterback. How many times tonight? They just cannot run the football.
Steve Anderson said he was tagging his buddy Justin Goodnow as we were. So anyway, thanks, Steve.
I know some Goodnows, but not a Justin.
Yeah. All right. We got a line on the call here. Let's talk to Marty Wandry. Marty Wandry on the studio line from Clinton Liquor, probably on his way home from Normantown. Buddy, it had to have been a tough one to be there in person. What'd you say?
I said, "Put me in, coach."
Gosh,
Marty, what's your height and weight? Let's hear that.
Marty,
I'm 285, 6'2", 285.
Hey.
Okay, can you play guard? You got any eligibility left?
In high school.
Hey, I'm gonna see if Coach Higbee at Clinton will send some linemen quickly to Norman. I think the Red Tornadoes could do a better job blocking that volunteer defensive line.
I think so too.
Yeah, those guys tonight, guys. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing we can do the rest of the year with that line.
No, not even close. There's only one more win on the schedule with that line.
We can't beat Auburn. Marty, we can't beat Auburn?
No.
Okay.
No. Like I told you, Chuck, you're drunk if you think we can beat Auburn.
I didn't get to watch. I needed to see the Arkansas game today, but I didn't get to see it. But
I think Arkansas won that, but
Arkansas did win that, and it was like 17-10.
Yeah. Auburn lost at home to Cal, and so Cal goes on the road and loses to Florida State today, or maybe that was in Berkeley. I don't know. But, Marty, SEC atmosphere, would you say that Sooner Nation at least showed up and was in it for a half?
They were in it for about 3 quarters, but when that fourth quarter came, guys, they started scattering.
How soon were the Hawkins chants coming out?
About the halfway through the second quarter.
Oh, wow. So OU Nation there at the game knew coming on. I mean, and it was all over social media as well. Jeremy and I were paying attention, but
hell, I was egging it on.
I mean, in person, Marty, and I don't know where you were sitting in the stadium, but is there a feel that Southwest corner? Okay. So you're basically over there where, you can see the OU bench. I mean, what's the body language of the offensive line when they come off of the field?
Mute.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's not much. The players on the sidelines were they were trying to keep it up.
Yeah.
It was just they knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And there was no game plan to attack it.
Well, name the score of the OU Texas game.
Ooh.
I hope Sark is as gracious as Josh was.
He will not be.
Well, I'm going to say if we get to 10, we're doing good.
Ooh, yeah. Who would be your pick now to win the SEC? Do you think Tennessee is got a percentage chance?
Oh, I'll give them about 20%.
Okay, who's your pick
It's gonna
to
be between Texas and Georgia.
Texas and Georgia?
I'm gonna say Georgia. I'm still gonna go Georgia.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
I mean, it's a 50. They're probably about a 52% favorite right now, 53, somewhere around there, low 50s.
Okay.
Just the field.
Well, Marty, give us one last take about the game that you coming away with. Give us your best expression of disappointment.
Yeah, it's just one of those deals, guys. That I mean, I see a lot of football. It's just if you can't protect your quarterback, you can't win.
Yeah,
that's
right
it.
where we're at. That's where we're at right now.
Yep. All right. Well, listen, Marty, I'm sitting here toasting a Leinenkugel that I went and purchased from your establishment today. So thank you. And man, I
appreciate your business.
You're welcome. You be safe on the road home, buddy.
Hey, I'm waiting. I'm in Norman. If you got that bottle of Mad Dog, I am ready.
I have it in my back seat.
All right.
All right. Marty, be safe. Thanks for calling in, buddy.
Thank you all.
All right. Marty Wandry calling in. Wonderful to talk to him. And he's on his way home from Norman, headed back to Clinton. And he's the sideline reporter for Clinton Red Tornado football. Does a great job with Dennis Smith and Alan Bryson on that. And I'm not kidding you, Jeremy. I bet there's a lineman or two for the Red Tornadoes tonight that would be more fundamentally sound than what I've seen from the Sooners.
You ain't kidding.
I mean, you proved me wrong.
No, and I've been in denial about this since last season when Tyler Guyton was benched. Do you remember that?
Tell me when.
Towards the end of the year, Tyler Guyton I don't know if he was hurt, but it doesn't seem like he was even, part of the plan.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. You go back to how long's Beadenbow been here? Was he here with Heupel when he was here?
No. That was
we talked about this the other day.
No, when Josh was as the offensive line coach. No, that was God dang it. His kid played football. No, it was not. He didn't come in until after. It was after. Lascola left West Virginia. Lascola was at West Virginia when he came over here.
Oh,
so it's been a few years. Yeah. He was on. What's his name?
Was he with?
He was at West Virginia. Then he came over here with Bob. I want to say 2014.
Bill, what's his face?
Who?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. No, he was at West Virginia. Then he came here. I want to say 2013 or 2014.
Okay. So was it Oklahoma Panhandle State in 1995? 2013 to 2016, Oklahoma offensive line. It was Bill somebody, the kind of alcoholic looking dude.
What?
The guy that kicked our butt. Or was he with Rich Rod?
Are you talking about Beadenbow?
Yeah, when he was at West Virginia. Who would have been the coach?
No, he was with Scullett. What's his name?
Was there that early?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I just heard a truck Jake braking probably like a half mile away from our house. That's amazing. So, all right. So he's been here since 2013 on staff. So he was here with Heupel before. And then in 2017, he's promoted to co-offensive coordinator. That was the year that they were the offensive line of the year. Cody Ford, all those guys.
Yeah, that was the and they
and so he struck gold with Creed Humphrey because he's probably one of the best centers that's come through college football.
He's the best center in the NFL right now.
Best center in the NFL right now. And so a lot of other guys who've made it to the league, Tyler Guyton's a first rounder, whatever happened last year with him. But his stash is run dry, Jeremy. He's done. You can't be at Oklahoma going into the SEC with one job for 3 years. You knew you had to have an offensive line ready to go to face SEC competition this year, and he has failed miserably.
And you're saying that because Caden Green transferred, that's the big no. You have recruited, and James Patton was the guy before him.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
He's a great guy
Sure.
and really good offensive line coach. If you'll remember, he was the one who moved Lane Johnson from tight end down to tackle in that 2012 year when everyone was hurt.
Yeah.
And guy ends up going
made
in
him
the
an
first
all-pro.
round. Yeah. He's a really good offensive line coach. He's in Indiana right now. He's coaching tight ends and fullbacks over there. His calling is an O-line coach. Really good coach, really good dude.
So answer me this. Can you pull the hook on a guy like Bedenbow right now?
No.
To send a message?
No. I mean, you could, but
I mean, because
right now
anybody that he's in on recruiting wise, what?
Yeah, you got the 5-star coming in. You don't want to lose him. Of course, he's recruited several 5-stars that have ended up playing other places and never panned out.
I mean,
like Savion Byrd, who's at freaking SMU right now.
Yeah. I mean, when your two big transfer portal guys are SMU and Southeast Louisiana?
No,
you're
North
not
Texas.
Wowing me.
No, Nwaiwu's from North Texas.
Okay.
And then the center's from SMU. I know.
I mean, they totally whiffed on the portal this year, Jeremy.
I know, dude. Now, Deion Burks isn't a whiff. I'm not trying to
beat you up about it, but I mean, we're talking to our listeners as well.
Deion Burks is not a whiff. Deion Burks is
He's a whiff if they don't have a line to protect the quarterback that can get him the ball.
Deion Burks is killing it if Rodney. We're talking about injured guys. If Nick Anderson is taking the top, or Andrell Anthony's taking the top off the defense, he's able to get loose underneath.
Well, that's two guys that I've heard talk
they're playing any
months.
day now, Chuck.
Huh?
They're playing any day now.
Nick Anderson came out in plain clothes.
Yeah, well, he played 2 plays and then went back to the locker room. I guess he's more comfortable back there than he is on the field.
Street clothes. Let's get to some comments. Max Patton, I was playing night golf tonight. How did the defense do? Thanks, Max. BYU beating K-State. That's Michael Busso. Ricky Rodriguez, time to open up the checkbooks and get us some linemen. Where's the money going to come from? I mean, I would imagine that program's tapped out paying defensive players.
Well, they've got the Fasusi kid coming in as a 5-star.
Yeah.
And they've got another they've got another 4-star tackle coming in the next class.
Yeah.
They're going to get guys in the portal. It's all listen, and I know nobody wants to hear this. It's all how they're developed. I don't care. I do not care. Because you think Cooper Beebe and all those offensive linemen at Kansas State last year that absolutely dominated, or 2 years ago that absolutely dominated Oklahoma, were 4 and 5 stars coming out of high school? No. They were developed.
But we've seen today also, and we'll get to it in a minute, what the offensive linemen that are at the program for 4 and 5 years can do when they're really in the spotlight against a smash mouth team.
Yeah, if you can mesh the recruiting and development, you can really just knock it out of the park.
The portal has to be just a spot treatment. You can't.
It can only be a spot treatment. It can only to fill a hole and build depth.
Yeah.
You cannot base your roster on your offensive line on portal. Spencer Brown has been terrible.
Mm-hmm.
The Wayne New kid has been okay. He's been solid at right guard. It's not the right guard spot that's been the issue. It's been the left guard, and the center.
Mm-hmm. Steve Anderson said, watching this BYU K-State game, I think the state of Utah is going to produce a Big 12 champion this year.
Oh, my God.
That's very possible.
Well, I called that.
It won't be TCU, but they haven't started conference play yet. Dean Lindsay says, what's going through Arnold's head right now? Probably wondering how he's going to fare in Starkville.
Yeah.
I mean, you
wonder if Coach Levy's got Scully available for him.
Oh, Levy would open up the door.
Yeah, I'm sure he
but
would.
The thing is, they got to, will he still command a decent NIL?
I don't know, but it felt good tweeting that at that jackass from Barstool that is a huge Mississippi State fan that just talks shit about Oklahoma all the time. Hey, he's the worst 5-star ever. Yeah, he's going to be playing for your team next year, buddy.
Exactly. Well, Uyagalele got a win tonight, so I mean that's something. But great! I open up Twitter and there goes Jeremy. So going to have to close down the studio line for a minute since he's frozen up. A lot of scores that we'll get to tonight. I'll try to stay on top of it. It's funny. I can see Jeremy moving around on my phone, but he's frozen up on my computer. So I guess really I should quit blaming the internet provider and maybe start shopping for a new desktop. That could be it. Radar, because
There he
something
is.
that could freeze up Jeremy. I don't know. Jeremy, I can't look at any scores, so I'm going to rely on you to do our scoreboard watching. But I think I'm just going to have to break down and go buy a computer because as much as I gripe about the internet service provider I have out here, I could totally keep track of you, and maybe my phone switched to data. But I could see you on my phone on the Facebook Live, but you were froze on the Zoom call. So
Okay.
all kinds of
38-31. Colorado beats Baylor.
Aranda really for a defensive guy, his defense really puked down their leg in that one.
And Texas went ahead and beat UL Monroe 51-3.
Yeah, Arch Manning already being tabbed as the next great quarterback at Texas as early as next week.
He did throw 2 picks against UL Monroe.
How'd General Booty do?
8 of 19, 42 yards and a pick.
The problem, Jeremy, is Texas has a defense this year.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I know
There's
they have. I mean,
with Texas.
Here's the thing: they have a good enough defense to go on the road and handle a one-dimensional team like Michigan, which obviously USC was not. Really, Texas hasn't been tested. I'll say this: comparative scoreboard watching today probably doomed OU because somebody saw the Clemson NC State score. And somebody said, these guys aren't that much, Yeah.
It's not the – I don't think so because I think OU's offense is what it is.
Well, that's true.
It's terrible. It's awful. It's, I could run out there with just a playbook for Madden and probably come up with the same damn result.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in the current offensive staff. I believe in Brent. I think Brent is the guy. I do.
Well, I mean, the defense was hanging in there.
And he fixed it. But we can't. But the defense is really good, and the offense is really bad. What's that sound like?
Yeah.
The offense is really good. The defense is really bad.
Yeah.
We can't have both.
Michael Busso asked me if we're getting some weather out here. I think it is moving in, Mike. And then Steve Anderson, Barstool Sports, is mandatory douchebag hiring. And then Dan Narva, Spencer Brown, surprised he ended up at such a good program. I've watched precious little OU ball this season because they're always on at the same time we are. Suspected he might struggle. Spencer Brown. What were we talking about?
He's the tackle that transferred in from Michigan State.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was just a turnstile in the spring game. Yeah. I mean, he couldn't block anybody.
Yeah. Bo Tisdale, my sideline reporter for Weatherford football, says OU versus Texas is giving me 2022 Braden Willis vibes.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, really, that offense by Davis Bevel was a little better than what we saw tonight.
You think?
I mean, that line could block a little, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And really, I'll say this for Davis Bevel, it seemed like Lebby intentionally hamstrung him.
Oh, yeah, he didn't want him to throw the damn football.
Yeah. Busso says, did Gundy say why he pulled his starting quarterback? I think his reaction was to give Bowman a break and kind of try to get his mind right. I don't know.
It was definitely to try to get his mind right. I didn't understand it because he gives you the best chance to win because we've all seen Rangel for the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah. He's nothing.
And he's not very good. The quarterback recruiting at Oklahoma State has not been
good.
Top notch.
Well, and this was supposed to be the year, and the one thing that was going to be their strong point is like their weakest. I mean, I know Bowman was awful today, but – and I know sometimes it's fool's gold when a guy goes out and lights up Tulsa, but I mean, you should, and we talked about, I kind of hinted at this earlier, that's a very experienced offensive line at OSU, and they can't block for the reigning Doak Walker Award winner. I mean,
what's that about? What were all these numbers today? Do I need to pull that up?
Yeah, I need you to pull that up, right?
I'm going to pull that up. He is I mean, he's frustrating anyways, but when he's not getting his touches, he's even more frustrating.
Yeah. Well, thing is, Jeremy, they have playmakers at the receiver spots, and they could have, I mean, Utah is good defensively. They're not the 86 Bears. And,
11 carries for 42 yards. So you're in a one-score game, and Ollie Gordon gets 14 touches. He had 3 catches for 16 yards. That is coaching malpractice.
But he does it every year, and they buy it.
But you pull your quarterback, and you're not feeding your bell cow.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And I think Gundy's a hell of a coach because he gets more out of these kids than I would have ever expected out of them. Hell, I mean, how many of them had multiple Power 5 offers that went to Oklahoma State?
Yeah. Steve Anderson says Utah's plan was perfect. They dominated the clock, put extra people in the box, and made Alan Bowman have to beat them. But the thing about it is Alan Bowman should be able to beat them if that's going to be their philosophy.
Utah is supremely physical.
Yeah.
And they beat Oklahoma State up at the point of attack, especially on the offensive side of the football. They ran the ball down their throat the entire first half. And in the second half, Oklahoma State did not have any answers until it was too late.
Yeah.
They figured it out late in the game when they put Bowman back in.
Well, and, that's the thing about tonight with Jackson Arnold. I mean, I think that when the turnover margin is really starting to stack up, you really are well within your right because you're not going to get anything positive from that point on.
I mean, at some point,
Mr. Rattler at the Red River Shootout.
At some point, you got to look at a guy and maybe say that's who he is.
Yeah,
and it's maybe he can go somewhere else, and maybe he could even come back in at Oklahoma and.
I mean, didn't he go out and dominate at some elite quarterback camp this year?
Elite 11 last year, and then the Manning camp this year.
Yeah. I mean, it's the talent is there.
It's the talent. He's gifted, but it's like right here.
Well,
and that's where 90% of football is played, right?
Yeah.
The other 20% is physical.
I just think on a night like tonight, I mean, even if you, I know, sorry, I was deep into my next thought.
Yeah, I hear it.
But no, I mean, I think on a night like tonight, you line up Javonte Barnes, and is Tatum out? Is he?
No, he's playing.
But he got hurt.
They just can't figure out what they want to do.
No, I mean, but he went out of the game.
Did he? Well, I mean, did he ever come back?
I know
Sawchuk was in there at the end of the game, and
yeah.
I mean,
and Barnes,
he's never done anything before Game 5 in his entire career.
Well, I mean, but Barnes is a big enough load. I mean, line up.
Hell, give Kanik the ball. Put him in the backfield.
Line up in the pistol. Put Ethan Downs in the Wildcat. I don't care. And I put out
Jaron Kanik never played linebacker before he came to Oklahoma. You know what he played?
He was a running
option quarterback.
Okay, yeah.
Throw his ass back there. He's big and fast.
Hey, buddy, we're bringing triple option.
Hey, buddy, we're coming right.
Hey, buddy, we're bringing triple option offense back.
See how happy you're hitting this sumbitch full quarters.
Steve Anderson says Gundy's 2 hands off with the offense, I think, and then Ricky Rodriguez, he took a hard hit in the back of the head, the play before he fumbled and never came back in. Yeah.
Sorry, okay. So hopefully, Taylor Tatum.
Yeah. But yeah. Go pistol something, get the running back close to the line of scrimmage. I don't
think we're going to diagnose what's wrong with Oklahoma's offense tonight. No. I think it boils down to is there are a lot of guys out there that can coordinate an offense. They just, went like water and chose the path of least resistance and picked the guy that was already in town.
Yeah.
Which rarely ever works out.
Exit question. You've already said Maine may be the only winnable game left on the schedule.
Yep.
South Carolina at home?
Nope. This offense can't put points on the board. Until they do it, this is what they are until they do it. I am tired of being optimistic about this team. Okay. It is excruciating in my soul, I had anxiety all day today about this game. All right. I am a 49-year-old man worried about a bunch of college kids. I'm done. I'm just going to let it go. You know what? That's it.
Anybody wants to give us another call, 580-952-9145. That's 580-952-9145. We will talk to you if you call. Marty Wandry already checked in, exiting from the game. Jeremy, really, there were high hopes for this season. There were questions. Nobody could foresee that it was going to be this bad. Everybody on the game day today picked Tennessee. We had a vibe Thursday night on the program that this was what it was going to be. But when it actually happens, it just hits so much harder.
When it happens, and it's like it didn't have to be this way. That is not a more talented team than you are. They're just better at what they do.
Yeah.
And the defense goes out there and plays a whale of a game.
Yeah.
And the offense, all they have to do is score 2 touchdowns.
I'm going to say this, though. I mean, they left so much out there on the table.
Hey,
they didn't.
Like I said,
they could have blown us up with the long ball.
Well, hey, if Oklahoma scored the 2 times they were gifted the ball in the red zone, they scored touchdowns, or at least get any goddamn points, it's a different ball game. I mean, we're talking. Yeah. Josh took his foot off the gas in the third quarter when we, had a freshman out there. We were just dicking off trying to, hey, what are we going to be? What's our identity going to be on this possession? We're going to run a little zone read. No. Let's just hand the ball up in the middle of the line or run a zone swing pass RPO that doesn't even develop.
Yeah. Well, it's frustrating, but it's what it's become. And honestly, I blame Bob Stoops because
why do you blame Bob Stoops?
Well, you texted me the deal that's what was it you texted me? The meme.
What? Okay, yeah, that's been my headcanon for the last 10 years. Is like, okay, what if Bob would have just said, I'm going to hang off. I'm not bringing Mike back. Okay, we're just gonna ride this out. We're going to recruit better because that's been our problem. We have been complacent in our recruiting. We're gonna bring better guys in, like we have been on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, he had Bobby Jack Wright on the golf course 6 days a week.
So we're gonna go Jackie Ship. What are you doing at your girlfriend's house? You're supposed to be out recruiting. You're fired.
Yeah,
Bobby Jack. You're not doing your job. You're fired.
So did Brent take the rap on that because those were his
pretty
staff?
Much? Yeah, pretty much. And
well,
then, you know what?
I don't get the sense that I don't get the sense those guys all came in together. I don't get the sense that Brent, was going to be somebody who didn't try to motivate them.
Brent is a loyal guy,
and
he probably tried to cover for everything those idiots were doing. Well,
Mike,
and it was probably a relief for him when he left on his own. He didn't have to leave to go to Clemson. Because once he went out there, he didn't have to worry. He didn't know these guys.
Yeah.
If they were pulling that garbage, you're gone.
Well, and I mean, Saban really seems to be the voice of reason and truth nowadays. And like when they were talking about Florida State today, he said there was a reason all those guys were in the portal and took a shot, and then but. There's also a reason why you don't hire your friends. And
exactly.
I don't know that Nick ever hired friends. He hired, and one thing about it too is, and I noticed this on the police department, there would be guys that would screw up and then they would be thrown a lifeline and they would be loyal to the person that threw them the lifeline for the rest of their career.
Sure.
And
that's what you get when you hire a guy that's been a head coach somewhere and failed.
And got left on the tarmac,
and got or
sent to detox.
Failed at a smaller school like North Texas, and they come back as a consultant, and you hire them as an OC. Well, the shine's already off of them. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, and we've talked about Seth Luttrell and how he should have struck while the iron was hot. After
where was he in OC before he went to? He was at North Carolina, and we need to talk about North Carolina. getting their asses absolutely stomped by James Madison today.
Oh,
Good Lord.
Poor Mac. Was he
70
OC?
to 50.
Was he OC at North Carolina? Was John Blake there with him?
Yes.
Who was head coach?
Was he OC there with Mac? No.
No, I don't. Well,
Who was let me effort that.
Yeah, please do, or else I'll lose you. All right, Dan Narva checking in says, "Amen. Jeremy doesn't get better at 64. I guess when you threw out your 49-year-old, our resident Benjamin Button." Dan, I miss you, bud, and I'm sorry about Sparty tonight. So,
okay, so he was the 24 and 2014, 2015. He was at North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And who was the head coach? Okay. Good Lord. NCAA scan. Okay, so Larry Fedora.
Oh yeah, Fedora was at NC.
Yeah,
totally forgot about that. Yep. What's that guy doing now?
I don't know. Does he want to coordinate an offense in Norman?
Oh, no kidding. I honestly, I mean,
can we
not
get a hold of the skullet?
You took the word right out of my mouth.
I'm in.
Dana,
you know
what are you up to, bro?
Dana Holgerson, bring your note card. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean,
give me some horns on the sideline and just look at your little card. We're going to run 3 plays out of one formation, and that's the whole offense.
Well, I mean, the thing is I mean, Jeremy, we've seen before, and you can't say that Mike Leach ever had just a knockdown, drag-out line back at Tech in his time there, or Washington State. But they could hold off a defender long enough to get the ball into an open space. And, if a team decided to play the umbrella defense, which how we didn't talk about Mel Kiper and his anti-too high safety thing Friday.
He just needs to shut up.
We totally whiffed on that. But
you know what? If they want to go too high safeties, you go underneath it. That's what the Chiefs have been doing for years.
I remember a time, and then they won 2 Super Bowls. Sure.
That many. 1, 2, 3.
That's for you, Mark. Well, they've won 2 in a row. How about that? So, anyways, I remember back in the Tech days. I mean, the last thing you wanted to do was give Mike Leach the ball with a minute left, and you're up 3.
And now you're like, God damn, can we just give OU the ball?
Yeah.
And let's be realistic about this. If OU's out there running a competent offense, say even Jeff Levy's offense with Dylan Gabriel at quarterback, they beat Tennessee by 2 scores today.
They'd be top 10 right now.
They'd be top 10 right now, and they probably would have beat Tennessee by 2 touchdowns.
How far do they drop in the polls this week, you think?
They're out of the top 25. As far as I'm concerned, they're rubbish.
Will voters look at the actual scores, and will they look at the final score? And
the people will see the score and say 2 scores, and they'll probably end up at 20.
Okay.
Because it's Oklahoma, because it's a logo.
Mm-hmm.
But can you imagine this team if they had Caden Green and Dylan Gabriel?
Yeah, I can't. Did Guyton did he have eligibility left?
He did, but he was.
I mean,
he got benched last year.
Sure.
Obviously, he wasn't injured because he went to the combine and just wrecked stuff.
Yeah.
And now he's a starting right tackle for the Cowboys. So I don't know what the hell happened there.
Michael Busso, I have more faith in KU than OU right now. I don't know. I mean, it just. I'm gonna go in and say, Jeremy, that they can go on the road and somehow pull out a win against Auburn.
You're saying somehow. I'm saying
may not
they
be
don't.
Pretty. It may be Michael Hawkins running for his life and trying to make some plays. They're going to have to pray that his frail little body holds up.
Exactly. That's what we're at.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But slide. I mean, you got to slide. You can't take hits, dude.
I mean, you can't. Do a 360 somersault over the defensive line and come down on your head
and score a touchdown.
And we're looking at ruining another young quarterback with a bad offense.
Well, and one thing I'll say about these 5 stars and Elite 11 competitors and this and that, I mean, man, there's no kid gloves about when it comes time that they're really flubbing up. I mean,
No.
Spencer Rattler was done. It's
Yeah.
because especially at a program that recruits anybody else that's of note.
Well, and Spencer Rattler wasn't playing that bad. And Spencer Rattler may or may not have been sabotaged by his head coach.
Oh, totally. Totally.
And we got to give, and soft spot, I'm sorry. The kid won the last conference title here.
Definitely. Yes, he did.
And he was a really good player.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole last year just had a stank about it.
He was hard-nosed, too.
I mean, that whole last season when he was here just had a stank about it. It didn't seem like the team was prepared.
No,
right?
because there were inner workings.
They're winning games on just gristle and determination.
Yeah.
It wasn't coaching.
How about the? I'm gonna have to get out of Facebook, so if you'd keep an eye on the comments, but I'm gonna pull up some scores today from
because I cannot pull up comments. So,
oh really?
I don't know what's going on with this. Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah. All I can. Wait. I've got comments. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Anybody listening? Dan Narva had a comment on there I didn't get to yet.
Let's see. Narva said, "Thanks, Chuck's party is a work in progress. Tonight, mostly an ugly mess in the rain. I was apprehensive about BC, but a clean game from us would have routed them. Could cost bowl eligibility. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah,
a clean game is, especially offensively, is, man, that's a beautiful memory.
So yeah, exactly. BYU. Yeah, exactly. BYU leading Kansas State 17-6 early in the third quarter. K-State with the ball. Cincinnati blanks Houston 34-0.
Yeah, look at that.
Iowa State, man, we were so harsh on Matt Campbell, and I think a lot of folks were kind of trying to jump on the upset special with Arkansas State, and the Cyclones are having none of that. 52-7. Texas Tech beats Arizona State 30-22. That was a bit of a shoot or a knockdown, drag out a little bit. I mean, I just don't know that. And when we had Corey Hogue on the show, he and I did our Saturday morning, high school football wrap up show on KSEY, and it was basically me letting Corey tell me how the games went in Texas, But
sure.
Eastland was one of the teams that played several of the Wichita Falls area teams, and Baron Morton was there at the time, and he was great. But he's a 3-star. How far? I mean, I know 5 and 4-star isn't just the automatic lock of success, but I mean, generally, a 3-star has to develop and have some talent around him, and I don't know that we'll see how far Tech goes with Baron Morton.
Now, BYU is about to take a commanding lead over Kansas State after an interception. They've got the ball inside the 5-yard line.
Dang.
And old Sonny got ejected from the SMU game tonight.
Yeah, the Iron Skillet game. And, man, here you go, Jeremy. That game was let's see. What was it, 47?
Last I saw it was like 47 to 41-21 was the last score.
47-21 at the half, and that's just because TCU scored 21 second quarter points. It was
how is that even possible?
It was 17-0 after one quarter SMU, and then the final 66-42. And looks like, let's see what the total yards were. SMU. Well, I don't have totals. Sorry, folks.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's typical. Okay, here we go. Total yards, passing yards for SMU, only 137. They rushed for 238. Total yards, TCU outgained them 480 to 375. Interceptions thrown, TCU 2. And then TCU with 5 fumbles, 3 of them lost.
Oh, my God.
Just
they lost 66 to 42.
Yeah. Gerald Ford Stadium was rocking with over 4,000 students in attendance.
And so Preston Stone has been supplanted as the starter for the SMU Mustangs.
Yeah.
Kevin Jennings, 137 yards passing and 2 scores.
Yeah.
But they ran for 238.
And they score 66.
Yeah, how's that work? that I guess they recovered 2 fumbles. They had a defensive touchdown,
Field goal,
2
defensive
defensive
fumble,
touchdowns,
punt return,
3
touchdown,
defensive touchdowns,
rushing TD, passing TD, interception return for a TD, field goal.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wow. He still gave up 42 stinking points.
Yeah. So the Iron Skillet goes to SMU, and the Dallas Mayor gets to flaunt around in his TCU sucks T-shirt some more. Colorado State beats UTEP 27-17. It was Tulsa beating Louisiana Tech 23-20 in overtime. North Texas over Wyoming 44-17. I might have had UNT covering. Well, I can't remember if I took Wyoming to cover in that. I probably did. Texas Rangers officially eliminated from playoff contention today. Baylor falls to Colorado, as we mentioned, 38-31 overtime. Texas 51-3 over Louisiana Monroe. And then let's see, game still going on. East Carolina leads Liberty 17-7. Florida got a 21-point win, I believe, over Mississippi State today.
Yeah, how about that?
And, on our college football pick 'em, they always ask you to pick a team that's going to score the most.
Uh-huh.
Do you think anybody in our group picked James Madison?
No, because James Madison was not available to pick.
Yeah. Clemson got out on North Carolina State big time today. 59-35 was the final. It really wasn't that close. North Carolina State got some garbage touchdowns. Ohio State 49-14 over Marshall. The Terps beat Villanova. That's a kickover game, 38-20. Kentucky beats Ohio 41-6. And then trying to see anything else. Temple beats Utah State 45-29. And
Temple won a game.
And
somebody worst said, team in college football.
Yeah, somebody said Northern Illinois to be on upset alert against Buffalo, and they were correct. 23-20, the Bisons win in overtime, and then Notre Dame beats Miami of Ohio 28-3 to keep from being swept by the MAC. And so that game in Baton Rouge was quite competitive as LSU finally beats UCLA. They got past them late. 34-17. The Tigers were down in that game 10-7 after one quarter, and then tied up at 17 apiece at the half. But then
Busso wants to know what Sonny Dykes did. So let's find out.
Yeah, he got ejected. I think it was too unsportsmanlike. So I guess it was. Yeah, I guess it was arguing with the. Here's the stat for the day, Jeremy. Let's get into this one here. As Louisville defeated Georgia Tech, Tyler Shook, 13 of 19, 269 yards and 2 touchdowns. So
he looked really good today.
The other 28-year-old in college football had quite the day.
He looked really good. And you know what they were doing? Because they couldn't block for him at the point of attack where they wanted to throw the ball. So they were moving him.
Yeah.
They were moving him around.
That's a heck of a concept.
That is a hell of a concept.
How about Arkansas?
Hey, I see this in practice all week. We can't block these guys. Maybe we should. No. Just leave them in the pocket.
Arkansas beats Auburn 24-14 on the road, and that puts the Hogs at 2-1 and 1-0 in the SEC, I believe.
Yep.
So big day for Connor Carr's Hogs. He was at the OU game, actually. I saw.
Yeah, I can't wait till 2025 or 2026 when OU finally gets their first SEC win.
Yeah, double overtime in Columbia as Mizzou beats Vanderbilt 30-27. Could we beat Vanderbilt?
I don't know.
I mean, they went on the road and beat
we can't score, dude.
Virginia Tech.
We can't score. I mean, we couldn't. Yeah. I mean, I think you and I could go out there and create pressure on OU's quarterback.
It's kind of looking that way.
I mean, you're over 50, and I'm almost 50.
Yeah. Let's see. Washington beats Northwestern 24-5. Florida Atlantic Vodka Tom takes it hard against Utah, 14. And then Miami got out slow against South Florida, but they kicked it in 50-15. They win that one. Florida State beats Cal 14-9. That was a snooze fest. Whatever that pig trophy is, they win for Iowa. Minnesota goes to the Hawkeyes this year, 31-14.
What did Marcus Major do?
Marcus Major, he's Minnesota.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Well, where is it?
Marcus Major, 5 carries for 33 yards. Big night. As we mentioned, Michigan
over
State
6 yards a carry.
Yeah, Michigan State falls to BC 23-19. Ole Miss all over Georgia Southern 52-13. Ole Miss has to have and I guess we lost Jeremy. And Oregon State beats Purdue. That's gone final 38-21. I don't know if Jeremy's going to jump back in with us, but I'm getting a message on my phone that we have a connection problem, so that's never good. So see if Jeremy jumps back in or not. But see what we have going on here. So I still have live, and we'll see if Jeremy jumps back in on the Zoom meeting. Let's see. Holding call. Steve Anderson, BYU killing K-State. Yeah. Anyways, I guess if Jeremy doesn't jump back in here, which I don't see him popping back up or with the opportunity, he didn't freeze. It just was gone. So I'm going to send him one more invitation. We'll try to edit this out on the meeting or on the podcast. But this is just really, oh, his phone died. So it wasn't me. What do you know about that? We do need to start wrapping up. So maybe he'll get on a charger real quick and we can send it out properly. I don't know. Just a rough Saturday of football for the Oklahoma teams. And this OU team is in really dire straits. They've got to figure something out of what they're going to do. So, Jeremy, let's go ahead and start trying to wrap it up now that I've got you back. And so if your phone died, I got a message saying bad internet connection, but it could be a combination of a lot of things.
Oh, no. I was rage tweeting tonight, so the phone didn't hold up, apparently.
It does that sometimes.
Yeah.
I might just have to go Zoom call on my phone myself, and we just do it out. I'll go out in the truck and sit, and we can do the show. Hey, real quick. So what, we got Auburn next week?
Yep.
Yeah.
At Auburn.
Okay, so on the road to Auburn, Hugh Freeze, he's probably going to smell blood in the water, but he's got issues of his own. I'll go ahead and say ahead of time that OU's defense figures out a way to kind of get them over the hump against this Auburn team.
OU loses 7-3 next week. 7-3.
Well, I mean, okay, so riddle me this: does Hawkins prepare the week as the starter?
He has to, doesn't he?
I mean, yeah, he put points on the board.
You couldn't move the football against a good defense, and he came in and moved the football. Now, I get it. The backup quarterback, they don't game plan for what he does, but you can't really game plan for a lot of what Mike Hawkins does.
Yeah.
Because he's fast, and he can move around, and he's got a good arm, and he's more accurate than Jackson. And according to sources close to the program, was the better quarterback in fall camp, but we started Jackson anyways. So, okay, well, let's see what happens. And start him. Do it.
Well, I mean, so riddle me this too. Other than on the offensive side of the ball, isn't everything kind of an open audition right now?
Yeah.
I mean, if you go
everyone except for Deion Burks.
Yeah.
And he's the only one that's done anything.
He's probably going to rethink. He's probably going to look back at his portal decision.
Justin Goodnow, I have no idea if they're any better than OU's. I mean, I don't even know if our quarterbacks are any good, because the offensive system is so it doesn't make any sense to me. They don't do things that make sense. The route combos are weird. They don't run anything intermediate to help the quarterbacks out. The tight ends he runs 2 yards off the line of scrimmage, or he'll settle in the middle of the field. Nobody moves with him. It's a weird scheme. I don't think it's good for a young quarterback. So I don't know.
I'm with you there. I mean, it does seem like, and I think Dean used the word discombobulated, but
Yes.
and I'll send Dean a text and say, hey, you got to go talk to the bearded guy lifting 450. There at the health club of Norman. But no, and I'll grant you this. Dean and his brother are a little bit. If you're not familiar with both of them, you could probably mistake the other.
I think I saw his brother tonight or today, but I could be wrong.
Also, Dean Lindsay, our friend of the show, Stretch of Norman. I'll tell you this much: I make the drive. I'm going to do about once a month now, Jeremy, to go get stretched at Stretch of Norman, and I'm telling you, lower back issues, sciatica, things like that. If you're dealing with that, and we'll put his information on our Facebook page, but you need to make it to Norman and get in to see Dean Lindsay at Stretch of Norman, because I'm telling you that the things he can do with stretching your body, it just really can make a difference. I truly believe in it. Unfortunately, I will say this. I can't get my insurance company to pay for it, so it's out of pocket. But you know what? For me to be able to function, it's very necessary. So,
well, you would think in this day and age that anything that could make your life easier, your insurance company would pay for it. But,
you would think. Yeah.
They pay for the chiropractors that what did I see? The guys breaking the lawn chair.
Yeah, they pay for chiropractors that I think there's probably several instances where people have perished. Now, I had a great chiropractor in Oklahoma City. I used to go see him also, but I'm telling you, for my money right now, and I'll probably be there in the next 2 or 3 weeks just to get stretched out. But Stretch of Norman, like I said, we'll put the information on our Facebook page and Twitter page just so people see it. And if you're going to be in Norman, if you're not in Norman, if you're out here in the 580, but you make the trip once in a while, man, try to schedule it up and get in to see Dean Lindsay. You will not regret it. So, Jeremy, the weekend big show's over. We posted all that, and now we've got our college football wrap up. Some matchups next week. I don't know. I mean, I know we'll get into it on the weekend big show this upcoming week, but it's just after tonight. But I don't know. In the midst of the game, like I said, I was pretty down. I was pretty mad. I was pretty irritated. But, you just always hold out hope that they're going to surprise you and go out and do something that they're not going to do. This
like
team
that early in that fourth
anybody.
Quarter when OU got the ball and they were moving it. And they scored a touchdown. Like, they can they get the ball back and score again, and then we can go to overtime. And we're both idiots. And here we go, Sooner Magic.
Yeah, I mean. And like I said, I'll go to bed tonight just believing that if Josh would have wanted to, he once he saw that his defense would be able to dominate that way, I think he knew all he had to do was just wear down the OU defense.
Oh yeah, and he had no intention to run that score up, and he could have.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is awful. But hey, next week you got Illinois at Penn State, Oregon at UCLA, Mississippi State. The Fighting Jeff Lebby's visiting Austin, UT Austin.
Yeah.
So Ohio State's going to Michigan State. That should be a fun one, right?
Yeah,
right,
Sparty hosting the Buckeyes, and then you mentioned it earlier today. The Michigan game. Sharon Moore, I mean, he basically knew they were going to go out and just steamroll the USC defense, and it might take a little longer than normal, but they got it done.
It's like what was that in Remember the Titans? Run the veer. It's like Novocaine.
Like Novocaine, yeah.
It's slow and steady, but it works every time.
Exactly.
Yeah, just keep hitting the middle of that soft middle of that defense, and eventually we're gonna score a bunch of points. They did.
What'd you think of game day this morning?
Man, I think everybody everybody in Norman was ready for the game except the offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because game day was packed out, it was fun, it was raucous.
Yeah.
It seemed like there were some great signs. Josh Heupel was a regular at Sugars. Oh,
it's so bad.
Chef's kiss, beautiful.
So bad.
They're eating the dogs in Norman.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh gosh. Well, let's start to wrap it up, bud. And I don't know. Just we'll see how things go next week. I mean, OSU's got K-State. That's not going to be anything. Of course, it may be.
K-State's going to be pissed off too because they're about to lose to BYU.
Exactly. I don't know.
It's not fun, is it?
How about last night also? And I was on my way back from Paul's Valley, but I guess Matt Rule and the Cornhuskers just got totally jobbed.
Well, they didn't get totally jobbed. They just got their asses beat.
Twitter told me they got totally jobbed. So
Man,
I believe Twitter.
When's the last time Matt Rule has beat a top 10, has won a big game?
Yeah,
I mean, he's a good coach, and we're both fans of him. But the guy has a proclivity for dropping big. 28-3 to Oklahoma in Waco.
Yeah,
I mean, he has a proclivity for dropping big games, and he dropped one last night.
Yeah. I'm trying to get us out of here, but the viewership keeps going up. I hate to bail when we're.
I mean, why would we bail if we're still drawing viewers?
I mean, we're not hitting double figures, but shoot, anything up above 5, I'm feeling pretty good about.
View me, love me,
view me, shower me with Jesus. I forget what that guy's name was, but he had the wife that was hooking up with Newman.
That was oh my God.
The guy with the comb over.
Yeah.
Wasn't Lomez, I don't think.
It was the fur coat. The
fur coat
dandy episode. Yeah,
dandy. Oh man, what a day! I mean, when the day starts with game day, and then you have a 3 o'clock OSU kickoff, and I was watching the games at 11 too as well, and I don't know. Today's probably the first Saturday that I've truly sat down and just watched it, just game after game after game. I mean, normally the last couple of Saturdays I've had some things and had to schedule around OSU, but OU and OSU. But man, today it's draining.
Oh, I know. And it's just, oh my God. Was that the reverse peep? Okay. Was that the reverse peephole?
Yeah, because he knocked on the door and he goes, Kramer, I know you're in there.
What a great, oh my God, what a great episode.
Yeah, because Newman's
I think it was Lomez. It was Lomez.
Was it Lomez?
I think it was Lomez, yeah.
So Newman was macking on the wife right there behind the dude's back. I don't like you. You're an instigator.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it was Silvio.
Okay.
Silvio.
Lomez was one of those characters you never saw.
Yeah. I'm sure Lomez wasn't Peter Stormare.
Who?
Peter Stormare.
Peter Stormare.
The guy that put Steve Buscemi in the wood chipper and at the end of Fargo.
Oh no, that was Slippery Pete.
Slippery Pete. Okay.
Yeah, that guy was Slippery Pete, and also he was the cosmonaut in Armageddon.
He was also the devil on Constantine, which was the best portrayal of the devil on the big screen.
He nailed some roles in the night.
Stormare's great. He is great. The Volkswagen commercials.
Yeah, he was also
fantastic.
He was also mistaken for the Lopper.
Yes.
And after Jerry had broken up with the mean girl from Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion, he come back in with her and then had to go to Pennsylvania Dutch country. I can tell you about the whole episode if you like.
What a great show.
Yeah.
That show is, I mean, no matter how great you think that show is, it does not ever get enough credit.
It's funny. I will not sit and watch too many episodes from the first 2 seasons.
No, but everything after that is gold.
I think
Absolutely.
the networks running it in syndication have figured that out. And really, Comedy Central gives you a lot from the season 8, season 9, or 7 and 8, whatever it is. But, somebody told me that there's 2 episodes they don't air on syndication. One is in season 8, I think, about Puerto Rican Day.
Oh, that's a great
I
episode.
guess it was too
What if I don't want to wear
stereotypical
ribbon?
about Puerto Ricans and their
Yeah.
parades, and then also there's one I guess in early in the series that dealt with suicide, and it was a little too blunt.
Oh, sure.
But I mean, Larry David's footprint is over that so much with being irreverent because you remember the one where do you remember the one where Elaine is trying to offload all the muffin stumps?
Yeah, the muffin tops. Yeah.
And
Yes.
she hits up Kramer, who's giving his bus tour. And she goes,
Yes.
"Hey, can I use your bus? I need to drop off a bunch of stumps." He goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Are they veterans?" It's like, oh my God. How did you do that?
The Pulp Fiction takeoff where Newman was the wolf. I need 8-ounce glass. He pours the milk and starts eating the stumps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was the Winston Wolf.
He was
Yeah.
Wolf. Yeah. I was also thinking about when they kidnapped the dog and dropped it off and up it wasn't upstate New York, but all right. So we've delved into Seinfeld recants, but anyways, so NFL tomorrow. Who do you got on your slate? I know my fantasy team's probably already. I don't know. Thursday night didn't affect me too bad. I'm taking on David.
Didn't
Sage.
affect me at all.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, well, here we go. David Sage already has 16.5 points. I have 0.
Look at you.
Yeah. Now
let's see. We got the Bears have to go to Indianapolis, so poor Caleb.
AJ Brown's still out on my team.
So that's the Eagles at the Saints, who are playing really well. The Saints are. Well, they beat the crap out of the Cowboys, so. Yeah.
So David Sage had Brees Hall got 16.5 points off of that one. Off of that one running back.
Kansas City goes to Atlanta tomorrow night. That should be a fun one.
Okay, so Sunday night football once again dominated by the Chiefs. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. Now I'm telling you Here's a guy. Detroit at Arizona tomorrow. That should be a fun one to watch. Kyler Murray is playing as well as anybody.
Yeah, he's
talking about playing as well as anybody. Denver is traveling to play your Tampa quarterback and mine, Baker Mayfield, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, I've got Baker on my fantasy team in the Lawdog League, so I need that. Let's see here.
I need C.J. Stroud to have a big game against Minnesota.
Packers are a 3-point dog to Tennessee. Wow. Malik Willis going home and gets no love.
No, because he's Malik Willis.
Well, I mean, I guess they're saying Jordan Love.
He's hurt. He's out. Yeah.
Okay.
He's on the short-term IR. He's going to be 46 weeks, I think.
Well, this says Titans trying to avoid worst start since 2009 with Packers hoping Jordan Love is back at quarterback.
Let's see. Carolina's playing the Raiders, so whatever that line is, bet Raiders.
Yeah.
6 points. That's it.
Jordan Love's questionable. So
they've got an immobile Red Rifle playing behind Carolina's offensive line with Carolina's best receiver, Xavier Leggett, who's a rookie, against the Raiders, who are playing pretty good football right now with the
So let me ask you this. Does KC cover the 3 at Hot Atlanta?
They're favored by 3. Damn.
That's what I've got.
Man, I would take Atlanta in that game. Because Kansas City doesn't blow anybody out. You know that.
Over-under is 46.5.
I mean, 3 is a big line for the Chiefs because they usually just see what they need and then do it.
Yeah.
Which has seemed like they've been doing for the last 2 years.
Who's starting for Miami tomorrow? Is it still Skylar Thompson?
It'll be Skylar Thompson. Did they sign anybody?
I don't think so.
They didn't bring in Marino or Bob Greasy or
went and found Chad Pennington.
See if Earl Morrall's got any time left.
Chad Pennington's gonna be on waivers.
Cleo Lemon.
Yeah. Hey, let's get out of here, Bob.
All right.
Sorry about the game tonight. It was tough for me. I know it was tough for you. And I hope. Listen, anybody that comes at you on Twitter tonight, you send them to us. We'll deal with them.
Oh, they can come at me. I'll come right back at them.
So Brandon Walker's really going after folks tonight.
Well, he's going to have to deal with Jackson next year. So He better get it out of his system. I hope he read my tweet.
I bet he did. All right. He's Jeremy Schroeder, ruler of the airways. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Lawdog. Thank you for tuning in here for college football wrap up on a Saturday night. Thanks, Marty Wandry, for calling in. And don't forget, in the future, you're welcome to call in as well. We want to hear from you, get your reaction on the games on college football wrap up. Be safe out there. Don't text and drive. Sure, don't drink and drive. Follow us at lawdogsports.com. That's got links to all of our podcast pages as well as all of our social media platforms. You can also leave us a message there on the website. We will read it on the air, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Lawdog Sports. Be safe. Talk to you next Friday morning for the Weekend Big Show.